All about prepositions in English, full course with examples and usage. What is a preposition? A preposition is a word that shows the relationship between a noun or pronoun and another word in the sentence. It tells us where, when, how, or in what manner something happens. Example. The book is on the table. On shows the relationship between book and table. Types of prepositions. There are 5 main types of prepositions. Prepositions of place/position. Prepositions of time. Prepositions of direction/movement. Prepositions of cause, reason, purpose. Prepositions of manner, agent, instrument. Prepositions of place. Prepositions of place. Prepositions of place describe the position or location of someone or something. Common prepositions of place. In. On. At. Under. Over. Between. Behind. In front of. Next to/beside. Inside/outside. In. Shows something enclosed or surrounded by something else. Examples. The keys are in the drawer. She lives in New York. The milk is in the fridge. There's water in the bottle. The toys are in the box. On. Shows something resting on a surface. Examples. The book is on the table. She put the vase on the shelf. There's a fly on the wall. The painting hangs on the door. He sat on the chair. At. Used for a specific point or location. Examples. She is at the door. They met at the station. I am waiting at the bus stop. We had dinner at a restaurant. He's at the top of the stairs. Under. Means lower than something else. Examples. The cat is under the table. My shoes are under the bed. The letter was under the mat. He hid under the stairs. There's dust under the sofa. Over. Means above something, without touching. Examples. The lamp hangs over the table. A plane flew over our house. The painting is over the fireplace. The bridge is over the river. There's a fan over my head. Between. Used when something is in the middle of two things. Examples. The ball is between the shoes. I sat between my friends. The shop is between the bank and the cafe. The road runs between 2 mountains. He shared the prize between 2 winners. Behind. Means at the back of something. Examples. The dog is behind the sofa. The sun disappeared behind the clouds. The car is parked behind the house. She stood behind the curtain. There is a secret room behind the bookshelf. In front of. Opposite of behind. Examples. The car is in front of the house. He stood in front of the mirror. The teacher is in front of the class. She parked her bike in front of the gate. There is a signboard in front of the store. Next to/beside. Means close to or by the side of something. Examples. The school is next to the hospital. He sat beside his mother. The lamp is next to the bed. I stood beside my best friend. The cup is next to the plate. Inside/outside. Inside means within something. Outside means not within something. Examples. Inside. The keys are inside my bag. He's waiting inside the car. Outside. The kids are playing outside. There's a dog outside the house. Prepositions of time. Prepositions of time show when something happens. They help us place an event in time. Common prepositions of time: at, on, in, by, before, after, during, for, since, until/till. At specific time. Used for precise times on the clock or points in time. Examples: I wake up at 6 a.m. The meeting is at noon. The shop closes at midnight. Let's meet at 5 o'clock. He arrived at lunchtime. On, days and dates. Used for days of the week, dates, and special days. Examples: She was born on Monday. We met on May 5th. The party is on Christmas Day. He left on New Year's Eve. I'll call you on my birthday. Months, years, centuries, long periods. Used for unspecific times within longer periods. Examples: I will visit you in June. He was born in 1995. The project started in 2010. They lived here in the 20th century. We will finish in 2 weeks. By, before a time, not later than. Used to show a deadline. Examples: Finish your homework by 8 p.m. I'll be home by midnight. She needs to arrive by Friday. The report is due by next week. Please return the book by tomorrow. Before, earlier than. Used to show something happens earlier than a certain time. Examples: I left before sunrise. Finish this before dinner. Call me before you leave. We met before the class. They arrived before noon. After, later than. Used to show something happens later than a certain time. Examples: Let's go out after lunch. He called me after work. They left after the movie. We'll meet after the meeting. I go for a walk after dinner. During, throughout a period. Used for something happening over a time span. Examples: I fell asleep during the movie. She cried during the speech. No phones during class. It rained during the night. Be quiet during the performance. For, length of time. Used to say how long something lasts. Examples: I've lived here for 10 years. She stayed for a week. Wait for 5 minutes. We talked for hours. He worked there for 2 months. Since, from a point in the past until now. Used with a starting point in time. Examples: I've known her since 2010. They have lived here since June. It has rained since morning. He's been sick since yesterday. She's worked here since last year. Until/till, up to a time. Used for the end point in time. Examples: Wait until I come back. He worked till midnight. Stay until the end. We talked till dawn. The shop is open until 10 p.m. Prepositions of direction and movement. Prepositions of direction or movement tell us where someone or something is going. They often answer questions like: Where to? From where? Which way? Common prepositions of direction/movement. To. Into. Onto. From. Through. Across. Along. Up. Down. Out of. Towards/towards. Past. 2. Shows movement in the direction of a place. Examples. She went to school. He is going to the market. I walked to the park. Send this letter to John. They moved to Canada. Into. Shows movement from outside to inside. Examples. She jumped into the pool. He went into the room. Pour the milk into the glass. They got into the car. The cat ran into the house. Onto. Shows movement on top of something. Examples. He climbed onto the roof. The cat jumped onto the table. Put the box onto the shelf. She stepped onto the stage. Load the luggage onto the truck. From. Shows where the movement begins. Examples. He came from Paris. She walked from home. I got this gift from my friend. We drove from the airport. The train is from Delhi. Through. Shows movement in one side and out the other. Examples. He walked through the tunnel. The ball rolled through the gate. We drove through the city. Water flows through the pipes. She looked through the window. Across. Shows movement from one side to the other. Examples. He ran across the street. We swam across the river. The bridge goes across the river. She walked across the field. They drove across the country. Along. Shows movement following the length of something. Examples. We walked along the beach. Drive along this road. She ran along the riverbank. Flowers grow along the fence. They cycled along the path. Up. Shows movement to a higher position. Examples. He climbed up the hill. The bird flew up into the tree. She ran up the stairs. Smoke rose up the chimney. They walked up the slope. Down. Shows movement to a lower position. Examples. He walked down the street. The ball rolled down the hill. She ran down the stairs. The sun went down. They slid down the slope. Out of. Shows movement from inside to outside. Examples. He ran out of the house. She got out of the car. Take the cake out of the oven. The bird flew out of the cage. Water spilled out of the bucket. Towards. Shows movement in the direction of something. Examples. He walked toward the door. She ran towards the station. The car is coming toward us. They moved toward the light. I looked toward the mountains. Past. Shows movement beyond or by something. Examples. He walked past me. They drove past the school. She ran past the shop. The bus went past our house. We sailed past the island. Prepositions of cause, reason, and purpose. Prepositions of cause, reason, or purpose tell why something happens. They explain the reason, cause, or purpose behind an action. Common prepositions of cause, reason, purpose. Because of. Due to. Owing to. For. From. Through. Because of. Shows the reason for something. Examples. The match was cancelled because of rain. She is late because of traffic. He failed because of laziness. We stayed home because of the storm. The flight was delayed because of fog. Due to. Also shows reason, often used in formal contexts. Examples. The delay was due to heavy traffic. His success is due to hard work. The match was postponed due to rain. Her absence was due to illness. The accident was due to careless driving. Owing to. Similar to, because of, slightly more formal. Examples. The flight was cancelled owing to fog. Owing to bad weather, we stayed home. The event was delayed owing to rain. Owing to illness, she missed the meeting. The roads were closed owing to snow. For. Expresses purpose or reason, often with verbs of giving, buying, preparing. Examples. I bought flowers for my mother. This gift is for you. She went to the store for bread. He left for work. They prayed for peace. From. Can show cause when used to indicate the source of a feeling or result. Examples. He died from cancer. She suffers from anxiety. The plants died from lack of water. He recovered from the illness. She fainted from exhaustion. Through. Can also express cause in some contexts, meaning by means of. Examples. He succeeded through hard work. They won through determination. She learned through practice. He improved through exercise. The company grew through innovation. Prepositions of manner, agent, and instrument. Prepositions of manner, agent, or instrument describe how, by whom, or with what something is done. Manner how something happens. Agent who does it, in passive voice. Instrument what is used to do it. Prepositions of manner. Show how something is done. Common prepositions. With. Like. As. With, manner. Shows in what way or using what quality. Examples. She spoke with confidence. He fought with courage. She smiled with joy. He looked at me with anger. They worked with care. Also for instrument, what you use. He cut the cake with a knife. She wrote with a pen. He opened the door with a key. He hit the ball with a bat. She stirred the soup with a spoon. Like, comparison. Used to say something is similar to something else. Examples. He runs like a cheetah. She sings like an angel. The baby looks like his father. It feels like summer. He acts like a child. As, role or function. Used to describe the role or function someone or something has. Examples. He works as a teacher. Use this box as a table. She dressed as a doctor. He served as chairman. They used the room as an office. Prepositions of agent. Tell us who performs the action, especially in passive sentences. By. Shows who did something in passive voice. Examples. The novel was written by Jane Austen. The cake was made by my mother. The song was sung by the choir. The building was designed by an architect. The letter was sent by John. By can also show transport or method. We traveled by car. She goes to work by bus. He sent the message by email. They came by train. She paid by credit card. Prepositions of instrument. Show what tool or means is used. Common prepositions. With. By. With, for tools/instruments. He wrote with a pen. She cleaned with soap. He stirred with a spoon. She cut with scissors. They built it with bricks. By, for means/method. She traveled by plane. He paid by check. We communicated by email. They sent it by post. He learned it by heart. Compound prepositions and phrase prepositions. Prepositions aren't always single words like in, on, or at. Compound prepositions equal single prepositions with prefixes. Phrase, or complex, prepositions equals groups of words that act like one preposition. We'll learn both types here. Compound prepositions. These are formed by adding a prefix, like a dash, be dash, in, to a noun, adjective, or adverb. Common examples. Before. Behind. Below. Beneath. Beside. Between. Beyond. Inside. Outside. Without. Within. Upon. Before. Earlier in time or position. Examples. Arrive before 9 a.m. The calm before the storm. Stand before the judge. I called you before leaving. Finish this before dinner. Behind. At the back of. Examples. The garden is behind the house. He stood behind me. There's a park behind the school. She hid behind the curtain. The shop is behind the mall. Below. Lower than something. Examples. The temperature is below zero. The text is below the picture. He lives below us. The ball is below the table. The sun sank below the horizon. Beneath. Directly under, with formal/literary style. Examples. The river flows beneath the bridge. She hid beneath the blanket. The treasure was beneath the sand. The valley beneath the mountains. He feels beneath his dignity. Beside. Next to. Examples. Sit beside me. The lamp is beside the bed. He stood beside his friend. Park your car beside mine. She walked beside him. Between. In the middle of two things. Examples. The ball is between the boxes. He stood between his parents. Share it between the two of you. The path runs between fields. The shop is between the bank and the cafe. Beyond. On the far side of, further than. Examples. The park is beyond the river. It's beyond my understanding. The village is beyond the hills. Don't go beyond this point. His talent is beyond doubt. Inside/outside. Showing position within or beyond. Examples. Inside. The cat is inside the box. Stay inside the house. Look inside the bag. Outside. The kids are playing outside. Wait outside the gate. Without. Not having. Examples. He left without his phone. I can't live without music. She spoke without thinking. They did it without help. He walked without shoes. Within. Inside a time or space limit. Examples. Finish within an hour. Stay within the area. It's within my reach. He arrived within the deadline. The answer lies within you. Upon. Very formal/literary version of on. Examples. Once upon a time. He knocked upon the door. The decision rests upon you. The cat jumped upon the table. The agreement is based upon trust. Phrase, or complex, prepositions. Groups of words acting as one preposition. Common examples. According to. Because of. In front of. In spite of. Instead of. On behalf of. Out of. By means of. In addition to. With regard to. According to. Giving someone's opinion or source. Examples. According to the teacher, the exam is easy. According to the rules, you can't enter. According to the news, it will rain. According to him, she is honest. According to the plan, we leave at 6. Because of. Reason for something. Examples. We stayed home because of the rain. He's late because of traffic. She failed because of laziness. The flight was delayed because of fog. The match was cancelled because of snow. In front of. Opposite of behind. Examples. The car is in front of the house. Stand in front of the mirror. She parked in front of the store. The sign is in front of the school. He's in front of me in line. In spite of. Even though something happened. Examples. She went out in spite of the rain. He finished in spite of being tired. They succeeded in spite of difficulties. In spite of his age, he's active. I enjoyed it in spite of everything. Instead of. Shows replacement or alternative. Examples. I'll have tea instead of coffee. She went instead of me. We stayed home instead of going out. Use honey instead of sugar. He called instead of visiting. On behalf of. Representing someone else. Examples. I speak on behalf of the team. He accepted the prize on behalf of his father. She signed on behalf of the company. They thanked us on behalf of everyone. I apologize on behalf of my friend. Out of. Shows origin, reason, or material. Examples. Made out of wood. He did it out of love. She ran out of the room. We're out of milk. Act out of respect. By means of. How something is done. Examples. They traveled by means of a boat. He solved it by means of logic. The message was sent by means of email. Water is supplied by means of pipes. He escaped by means of a secret tunnel. In addition to. Means, also, or, besides. Examples. In addition to English, he speaks French. She plays the guitar in addition to singing. In addition to studying, he works. We need bread in addition to milk. In addition to the car, he bought a bike. With regard to. Talking about a topic. Examples. With regard to your question, here's the answer. With regard to payment, please see the cashier. With regard to the meeting, it's at 3 p.m. He spoke with regard to safety. With regard to your request, we'll consider it. Prepositional phrases. A prepositional phrase is a group of words that starts with a preposition and ends with a noun or pronoun, called the object of the preposition. It functions like an adjective or adverb in a sentence, telling where, when, how, which one, or what kind. Structure of a prepositional phrase. Preposition plus object, and any modifiers. Examples of structure. On the table. In the big red house. After the long journey. With my best friend. How prepositional phrases work. They add details. Where? On the table. When? After the meeting. How? With care. Which one? In the red dress. They can act as adjectives describing a noun. Adverbs describing a verb. Prepositional phrases as adjectives. They describe nouns or pronouns. They tell which one or what kind. Examples. The house on the hill is beautiful. Which house? On the hill. The girl with the red dress is my sister. The book on the table is mine. The car in the garage is new. The man by the door is my uncle. Repositional phrases as adverbs. They describe verbs, adjectives, or adverbs. They tell where, when, how, or why. Examples. She sat on the chair. Where? On the chair. He arrived after the meeting. When? After the meeting. They went by bus. How? By bus. She ran with great speed. He spoke in a loud voice. Multiple prepositional phrases in a sentence. Sentences can have more than one prepositional phrase. Examples. She sat on the chair by the window. He walked through the park in the morning. The letter is on the desk in my room. They talked about the plan after dinner. He ran up the hill with his dog. Common prepositional phrases: at night, in the morning, by the river, on the wall, under the bed, over the bridge, between the trees, across the street, along the road, near the station, far from home, out of the box, beside the lake, behind the curtain, inside the house, outside the building, without any help, according to the rules. Sample sentences with prepositional phrases. The cat is under the table. We walked along the beach. He lives near the station. The kids are playing outside the house. She hid behind the curtain. He jumped into the pool. I waited at the bus stop. She is sitting beside me. The bridge is over the river. They drove across the country. Tips for using prepositions correctly. Prepositions may look small, but they can change the meaning of a sentence completely. Many learners struggle with them, so let's help them avoid common errors and build confidence. Prepositions and fixed expressions. Some prepositions are used with specific expressions. These are called prepositional collocations. Learners should memorize them. Examples. Interested in. Good at. Afraid of. Depend on. Angry with. Married to. Famous for. Tired of. Tips to learn prepositions easily. Don't worry if prepositions feel confusing at first. Learn common patterns and practice every day. Speak full phrases like, on the bus, at night, after dinner. It helps your brain remember better. Practice with pictures, real objects, or maps to make learning fun.